So what you're looking at here, folks, is some footage that I just discovered that I had. I had it on DVD. It was on another disc. So I'm just going through it now. It had music on it already. So I think I can talk over it. Okay, what you're looking at, this is in December of 2000. We had two stores. This is the big store. So I'm going to be able to show a lot here with this footage, because this footage is almost like the documentary in itself. That's the trouble with all the footage I do have. It's over 1,000 hours. They're all marked, dated and all, but it won't say what's on it. You know, there's 6 hours on each tape, so it's not going to say that. I might notice something like this, and I might mark it on there. I might have put Christmas. But if I have the date, December 2000, I know it's going to be Christmas. So it's just a thing of going through it, you know, and I just happened to go through this, and this had a lot of footage of just this store, inside and out. So I wanted to show the decorations, because now since it's Christmas time, so I'm trying to emphasize what, you know, the footage that I have. This really shows the store, and you can see I did everything I could with the decorations. And what I did here was I faded out, you know, in different scenes. So in a sense, I didn't know at the time when I did this. This is 19 years ago. And you can look at it, you know, and you can see, look at the size of this place. All those tapes, well, they're not tapes, they're boxes, empty boxes. And they're alphabetized by section, so and you can see that we had games, not as many then, because the business was really good then. The games came in more afterward because it was extra money. Look at that sale, $9.99 for all those movies on that side. That all changed around, you know, later on. But those shelves, you could change it now. Out front, there's the date, December 23rd, 2000. So I punched that in on the camera. Now that's how the front windows look. Posters, I had a TV there. Later on I had a couple TVs. Christmas trees, and I was pretty much, that window was nice. You could do a lot with it, whatever you want. Back inside, this is right by the front door. I had let's see, Mr. Magoo there for Santa, and the reindeers, and with Rudolph. I had this in the other stores. I kept a lot of these decorations. And I reused them, but not exactly the same. It depends what fit. That fit there nice. So you're seeing how it was back in the day. It's not there anymore. So. And I was taking this camera I had, and it had that fade on it, you know. So I figured, well, I'm just going to go through the store. So it's actually the time that I'm taking now, and the time to view it is the time that it took, actual time. You know, when I filmed it. I didn't take a break and come back, and I went outside. And you can see how it looked. It was on a big street. We were on a big avenue. You know, there was a lot of activity there. Like, if you look straight ahead, there was a CVS that just opened right around that time. So I know that CVS it's got to be at least almost 20 years old. And right there, they were selling Christmas trees in the parking lot next to us. I think that was the first time they did that. Might have done it another time. So I guess the parking lot, they weren't using it much. The company next to us, so they decided to rent it out for the Christmas trees. And I'm walking around a lot with the camera. I was doing a lot of this. Now that I have the foot, I didn't do it at the time to say, oh well, 20 years from now I'm going to do a documentary. I didn't really think of that. I mostly did it because I liked to do it, and because it was Christmas time. I wanted to, you know, all that work I did with the decorations, I wanted to be able to, you know, look at it again and see what I was going to do the next year. Even if I would have put the same decorations, nobody would have really noticed it. I might not even. See the entrance when you come in? This is a store was not a video store before, it was a paint store. So, you know, we had to put all that shelving in and all. That shelving's nothing. It's just plywood with 2x4s on the front, painted, and put the like the strips on the front, mirrored strips. It's plastic, but it looks like mirror. Now I'm looking from inside the store out. Yeah, it was quite a job for me to decorate that. I started early. You know, if this was December, I started decorations in probably November. Started, you know, some of it. Because I'm by myself to do all that. Plus, I'm running the store and I'm working there every day. So it was quite a bit for me. Actually, my car is parked outside. Right there. I just recognized it. You know, I had a car then, which I wasn't using much. But I eventually, you know, I used to walk home and leave it there. I just noticed that. Now I'm looking the other way. I just showed you from inside out, not from outside in. And you can see how it is. I mean, it was good the way it was set up. There was a lot of big space in the front. But there's the outside again. And the posters and all. Just by the posters you'll know pretty much what time, you know, what time of year, you know, it was. You see those frames there in the window, they used to have lights, but they burned out. So it's still good poster frames. Since the posters came in before the movies, I would put it up, change it all the time. So it was work to do there all the time. Plus I'm running the store, so and you can see you can see me there. I'm walking around with the camera. I think it was a VHS-C camera that I used, and you could take the cassette out, you put it in an adapter, and you could play it in a VCR, which was nice. That made it small. Of course, you could play it back on the recorder too, and then put a cord and plug it into the TV. There's a lot of things in those days I was good at. Now, the electronics then I was like very good with. Now I'm not. No, I'm not saying I'm not, because I'm even doing this. Yeah, I'm playing on a DVD player that has a screen, and I'm copying this on the front of the camera that's on the tablet that I have. The only problem is to get it lined up, and the video will vary a little bit. Like if I'm moving around the store, it's going to look faster on the tablet because it's not exactly matched. So it's good enough for this purpose. So what you're viewing here, the video is actually a lot clearer, the actual video. And you can see the way it was up there. See a big space in the front. We left it open. I wanted to put like games or something in there more so, but it was so busy then it was still busy then. Now you can see me in that mirror with the camera. So everybody knows I did film it. And this is a security mirror, you know. I could see, you know, if I was by myself, you know, I had cameras in the store. It was nice having that. It's like a little, it's a deterrent. People see that, they know they're being watched. Now this is back of the counter. Decorations. It's like so much stuffed animals. I mean, I bought a few, but most of the stuffed animals you see here, it came from the crane machine. And I used to play on the side, you know, if I put money in, but it's going back to the store anyway, the money, so I figured it was worth it. And I got DVDs there. They were just, you know, they just start coming out. And I didn't have any way to display them, so I took that, you know, that rubber tubing that you put around pipes. I took that, I already had a slit in it. So I fastened it to the front of those shelves, and I used the slot to put the DVD. And it worked out. And in the back there I might have had empty boxes or whatever, because they wouldn't fit any other way at the time. It was new, you know. There's the frame from, see, the frames I had hanging in the window, both sides. You could put a poster for there, and I could see it on the other side in the store. That's the way they were made. You could hang it in from the ceiling and see both sides. But there worked out perfect in the window, because I put posters on one side, and then on this side I had posters too. This is the stuff that we, you know, that we had, that we were using. See there, actually I went from the DVD box to the poster, but I don't know when I was doing all this. I was doing it, and I was trying to see as much of the store as I could, so. You can definitely see I fade out. To go to something else. I mean, that's the way the camera was. And there's a tree a little tree I had there on the shelf. Yeah, a lot of decorations. I guess you wonder what happened when I took it all down. Well, I probably put tapes or something up there, accessories or whatever I had. Because it looked a lot different without all the decorations. I usually kept them up, so right after the first week of January, I used to take it down. I had the tree right there. It was the perfect spot. There's like a platform there. You could see it from outside. Speaking of outside, that sign was something. Isn't that? It's like anything else. You have to, keep it up, but it showed. It showed from a distance, from across the street, but it also showed. Up and down on the street because the size of it, and it lit up like that. It was really good. Everybody knew we were the only video store right there. There's a couple other ones around there. This was a mom and pop video store. It's different as opposed to one of the big chains, So you can see now again. I mean, this footage shows a lot. I mean, the way it was. I mean, this is not something I could create now. You could. The only thing good about it, you could see how it was. If someone wanted to do a store, recreate it, they could take it from this. Because it's the way it was. And that's a tree I had in the window. It's like a lot of decorations. This was a big store. And see there, nice to have a tree around there, but you could see it outside. Pretty sure that's the way I had it. Yeah. You could see it outside. But it was nice because I put stuffed animals on that tree. I had done it 4 years later at the smaller store. I probably showed it already. But that was more than this. This wasn't so much. And the train underneath again. I think I had a couple of those things, It's nice by battery and all. I mean, I would have rather, like I said before, I like to have it by electric. But those batteries, you'd be surprised, last a long time. I like to leave it on, especially at Christmas time. It really makes a nice effect. People like it. In this case, it was like on a platform. It was more out of the way, than it would be. See how it is? It's like protected when you come in. You can see it. You can't touch it that easy. So when I did all this, I fixed what I think would fit, and that fitted good there. You probably wonder what was there when the tree. It was very simply posters. They gave the stand-ups. That's what was there. So now this is a close-up of it, a little more. Yeah, I liked it, so I videotaped it. I was trying to videotape as much stuff as I could. So this is Christmas, though. This is showing how the store was, but it's also showing how it was at Christmas. So again, a documentary could be Christmas time at the mom and pop video store. And you need decorations and all, so I sure had it here. This was 2000. So in 2001, we were at the little store for Christmas. So this is actually our last Christmas there. I think maybe it's why I concentrated on it so much. That's the reason why I have all this footage. I have a lot, though. Not just this. I have plenty of footage. Well, snowstorm. I have that. I showed it already. A lot of stuff's already been posted online. So if anybody's interested in this, doing a documentary from what I have, I can get it off the line already. There's a lot. But I think, to go through the footage, I think someone might want to do it. I mean, there's documentaries at the video store. I don't think it's going to be like this. This actual footage, I don't think there's anything like this. What they did was, when the stores are closing down and all, that's when they did it on the news. A lot of that. They might interview the owner, interview employees, customers, and all. That's basically what it comes down to. But this actual footage is something I think could be worse than maybe you can see it here, but that doesn't mean nothing. Because when it's put together, it's going to be different than this. I mean, I'm showing that train running around and around. Maybe someone makes a documentary, they may start it out with that. They may finish it with that. They may start it, and then they may go to, they may add footage of interviewing people about the video store. That could be added now. They could show other video stores how they were, but they won't have too much inside. You know, but this what I have is something that's kind of unusual. You're not going to find it. In fact, it goes back. This is 19 years already. I have further back than that. See, here I was very, I guess, conscious of what I was doing. I was trying to see every angle I could do to show everything. Because I knew I wouldn't be doing that. I had a feeling this might be our last Christmas. Because we had gotten a notice that they were going to build townhouses there. And we were going to have to get out. So we were either going to close the business down, or we were going to get another location. I found another location. See, I get a close-up here. It comes out alright, you know. Like I say, I'm copying it on this, you know, on this tablet, and it comes out alright. The sound especially is alright. But some of this footage is a lot better than when it looks here. Because right there I have a light shining. Why that light is on there, but probably was dark. It was at night. I was trying to see if I could light that area up. Because, you know, I'm recording it too. You know, I utilized everything I had, you know, for Christmas. You know, it's not different because from this point, this was the last Christmas day. So 2001, we were in the other store. And I had all this stuff. It wasn't too far away from here. But this with all the stuffed animals was good. Like I think I mentioned, we have a crane machine there. And at Christmas time, they would put Christmas, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's, all the sporting events. So it was good. I made it really, it took a lot of business stuff. But this was, you know, I like this a lot with this train, so I wanted to show it, you know. I didn't have too many things. I was going to set it up a little bit different. I was trying to get more, you know, when you have a train set up, or houses, like a little town there, maybe different track, but I figured I just kept it simple here. And when I set it up at the small store, you know, 4 years later, I did put a lot of houses, a lot more lights, more stuffed animals. Now back outside, and you can see, and I think I was really with this particular time because I just found this footage that I had copied on DVD. And I said, well, let me look at it, and I could talk over it for now, you know, to give an idea for this, you know, video store documentary I'd like to do. I mean, I have it, but I need someone to help me. I need someone to try to get someone to do it or do it, and I'll give the rights, you know, to everything. And I would give them all that footage and anything else that, you know, that they need to know. My expertise besides, because I worked it. I'm the one that videotaped all this stuff, so you can see, you know, I put that brick paper, you know, all these stuffed animals was like it was a big thing. I mean, it looked good. I had a lot of them. I ended up, I think, pretty much give it to the kids or something. You know, some of that at the end. Because I know I get more and more and more, you know, every year. Now you can see now the size of this store. It is really big. You know, some of these decorations I used every year. But not, you know, I couldn't use it there because this was the last year. See how it is? All those islands. Because that store was a paint store. Before, you know, we took it over, I think they closed down. They weren't doing too good. It became available for rent. looking for, it was a good size. So the islands, to build those islands, it wasn't that difficult. The carpenters, he just took the 4x8 sheets of plywood and shape them and then put the shelving with 2x4s. This is outside there. It's a pretty, you can see the neighborhood. This was really nice with this tree farm right next to the video store. I liked it a lot. Because I videotaped everything. At this time I definitely wanted to videotape that. I think I have it in other tapes, I'm sure, but this particular tape that I copied, I knew it had a lot on it. I figured, well, let me see if I can do it now, voice over it right now. Because I did a lot of voiceover when I was recording them, the actual voice, of what was going on, or me and coming around and talking and all that in front of the camera. But here, I was really concentrated on every bit of this store. You can see, TV in the window, and I actually had video footage that I took on that TV. So a lot of stuff with video. So in those days, because it is a video store, so I did video. And see that tree? It's pretty good there in the window. Those windows. You have much windows there was, but I utilized it. I had the posters hanging there, in those frames, TV. I had little trees there. I had a lot of things I put in that window. Of course, when Christmas was over, I took out the posters that were in the window. There wasn't too much change there. I'm outside. I'm walking around with this camera now, outside. You can see it was a breezy day there. You know what time it was, December 23rd. That's right before Christmas. So see, by me, marking this, some of the footage I marked like that when I was filming it. I put that on the screen, so you would know the date. So pretty much everything I have, all those tapes, figure it out. If I said I had 1,000 hours of footage, you can figure it out. Just take the 6 hours on a tape. Just divide 6 into 1,000. And you can figure how many hours. It's way over. I have more tapes than that. But approximate, There's enough footage, I know, to make a documentary. Because the sound doesn't mean nothing. Some has sound, some don't. Some I voice over. It doesn't mean a thing. Because you can put whatever you want. It can be added. Voiceover, sound, anything. It can be added after. After the footage. Now, see, this is outside. I'm not in the street. And look, the cars are going by. But it's nice for me to look at it now. I remember everything, because when you see it, if I went to tell you all about this, I wouldn't say, oh yeah, there was a tree farm next to the video store. I might not, bring that out necessarily. Pretty nice, the way that was. But the business slowed down, though. That was the problem. Around this time, it was still a little bit busy. The DVDs came in, and that helped. So when the cable started, no more trips to the video store, pay-per-view and all that, when that came in, that really made it rough. See, the way it was here was, we would get the movies before cable. At this time, like 30 days before cable. So if people wanted to see the movies, well, they couldn't get it on cable for 30 days, so it gave us an advantage. And those movies were very expensive. We were paying $50, $60 for one movie. But we're renting them, remember, and we still sold them. But when DVDs came out, it was better for us because they weren't that expensive. We would get more copies. See, I'm outside there, walking around. Yeah, I don't know where I had this camera. See, that's another thing I did. I used to leave the camera outside and be walking around. Probably wouldn't do it today, but in those days, I guess nothing ever happened. I'd be out all hours with the camera and everything and leave it and walk around, Now I wouldn't do it now. A little too things that happen. How you doing out there, folks? Remember, here at USA Video, we always put you first. Happy holidays. See you at the movies. I'm saying it now, but when I recorded this, I probably had the sound on. That's what I did a lot. I took the tapes and I put music to them. I unplugged the audio and I plugged in the audio from music or a microphone. So I was able to talk over it and switch it back to music. But here, the music's already on it, so I'm talking over it now. So like I said, someone's interested in this. And you can see the footage I have. It's quite a bit. What I'm showing here, it's enough to do a documentary, but it's all Christmas stuff. I mean, you can figure it out different. Because in this particular store, I have a lot of footage. You have the customers, the employees, bringing the movies up and whatever was going on at the time. I mean, no tape is exactly the same. But again, it's just it's going to take a lot of time to look at the footage and pick out scenes that really. How you doing out there, folks? Remember, here at USA Video, we always put you first. Happy holidays. I'll see you at the movies. And I always said that. I say see you at the movies. Of course, I'm in the video store all the time, so where are you going to see me? I'm with all the movies in the video store. So I kind of said the things that I said. We put you first, of course. USA Video, that's you is first, so I can see here now, there was one of the stand-ups they sent us. And, it was Christmas time, and the movie was about Christmas, and good. We were getting a lot of material for stuff. They sent a lot. The movie companies, because they knew they want to advertise their movie, But in this case, you can see that was a Santa Claus movie. That was a nice stand-up for Christmas. And you can see, it's just, I noticed a lot here, and I really concentrate a lot on this store then. Again, you can see me. You can see me in the mirror there. The security mirror. And I'm filming. You can see I don't have a big camera. You can see it. I don't know when I did all this at the time. But really, I didn't have that in mind that I would say, well, I'm going to have this footage. And when there we go. Look at that. There's a close-up of the camera. Yeah, it was a VHS-C. And I got the screen in front of me, blocking my face. And, yeah. Like I said, it had that small tape. You could see it had to be a small tape. It still played for, I think, at least an hour. And when I would take the tape out, and I would put it in a cassette and play it on the VCR. Now you can see, I'm looking from outside in, inside out, or whatever. You can see it's inside out. But my reflection is in the glass. See it? That's kind of a little confusing there. I was doing so many things. Because this decoration we had for a while, North Pole. It was nice. It showed up. We have plenty of room for this stuff. And I liked it, and I saved everything and used it for next year and the next year, the other store too. So it's just like anything else. You have decorations in your home and you use them from year to year. But this particular camera, you can see I was fading out a lot because I was changing scenes. I don't know how much I could record of this one store. That's why I decided to sit here and look at it. I don't know what to do with the camera, but you can see the size of it without being there. Because at this point in time, I came up with the idea to rent the front of the store out, Just take out a couple games, but it almost happened. Because it was slowing down and for extra money. You could get like $1,000 just for the front. It was like a cell phone company, and they had electronics and everything, and they would have the front window, and they liked it. And they were up the street in a real little small store, and they would like to be in this location because they knew that we have a lot of people coming in. You know, they were selling electronics though, mostly. Don't say cell phones. Cell phones, I don't think was too much then. Not yet. A lot of electronics they had. And other things they had too, jewelry or something, but it never happened. And I'm glad we didn't start it because it would have been a problem because we had to move, and then they would have to move. So at the time, I think we had already knew that we were going to have to get out. So we had a lot of notice. We had like about a year notice, and it wasn't sure. So that stopped it. They really wanted it, but I eventually told them, look, I'd be glad to do it, but it's not going to work out right. You don't want to come in here for a year and have to get out again. They didn't have too much. They were in a very small store. Actually, this was probably bigger than their store. This space in the front, it never came to pass, so it's probably better that it didn't. Because we had to fit all this stuff in a much smaller store. And I'm walking around and checking everything out there, you know, and yet I have the camera on recording, you know. Let's see. How you doing out there, folks? How you doing? Remember, here at USA Video, we have a lot of things. We always put you first. And I'm going to take this time to wish everybody happy holidays. That's pretty much what I said. But, you know, I'm aware of the camera. See how I left it there? You know, it's a small camera. It's inside. And I leave it there. And then I walk around. Because just all this time, it took the actual time that you're viewing is exactly how long it took me to record it. I picked up the camera, I paused it, you know, I back to the tree again. You know, the tree is, the tree we had for a long time. It's an artificial tree. I put it outside at our other store, the little store, and then I started getting the live trees. But here, it was pretty good the way I did with the bows and then all the stuffed animals. It's okay, but when I did it at the small store in 2004, boy did I have the stuffed animals. There's another tree I had. This was at the back of the counter. And this was one of those fiber optic trees. The fiber optics went bad, I think. But it was nice. It evolved, and I put the decorations on it. You see the way it was. Now we got that lighted box back there. I ended up putting that in the window. Yeah, it's pretty, I mean, the decorations, and it's a big store, so I have plenty of place to put decorations. So pretty soon you won't have room for anything else, but it really, you know, it came out nice. Because I was able to do it little by little, you know. I'm there all the time. Work from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., I'm there all the time, so that was my hours, the store hours. So I had a lot of time, you know, in between. When it wasn't busy, you know. When it wasn't that busy. You can see I don't have that many DVDs yet. But when we moved to the small store, I bought a lot of DVDs. Because all the movies weren't on DVD yet, but they were getting, you know, all the new ones were. And it was nice then. Because DVD players were coming out, and we were selling DVD players too. And that was helping. Now this train. I can't get enough of it, can I? No, it was good because people liked it, you know, and it brought the people in. In those days, they didn't have much. They could go to movies, but it's, you know, with the technology wasn't like it is now. But now, you know, on your phone you can do everything, anything you can think of. Emails, streaming, tweeting, whatever you want to do. Right now, if there's anything you can't do, you have to be used to. Because I'm taking a clinical trial now. I just started it for arthritis, you know, and I qualified, and they gave me a phone. They gave me a phone to keep a diary every day. It goes for like, I think over 200 days I gotta do that. And I go back, and they're going to give me a needle in my knee and all. So I started that, but then we go back to the phone. Look at that, they're giving the phones. They gave me a phone, plus pay me besides. So So I don't want to be a lab rat, and I don't want to be a guinea pig, but I just wanted to do it because I did have pain in my knees. And I figured I'm going to do it. It's going to help me and other people, so I decided to do it. But I didn't see anybody with phones, walking around the video store at this time period. Even at the other little store either. Today you see people, everybody has a phone. But not then. And that's another thing this footage shows. In this case, this footage is only showing when the store wasn't open. But a lot of the footage I have, it shows when the store was open. The interaction between the customers and the employees. So this is like a study, Speaking of, this is like a clinical trial for the video store. I had a lot of stuff there. It was big, like I said, on all the shelves. I think I mentioned it, those, like shelving, it was made, built there. All it needed was carpeted, and then they put plywood. The sheets come 4x8, everybody knows that. And so it was easy to do without much cutting. They figured how many fit. And then the 2x4 is the same way. Then they put that on the front, paint everything, and they had those strips that come. They're plastic, but they look like mirror. Put them on the front. They made good shelves. They look good, and it can be done. It could be done now. It's not hard to do. To duplicate this wouldn't be that difficult. Because when you have footage of it, if someone wanted to make a set, and do a musical or something about the video store, well, they could take it from this footage and make it authentic, like it was. Because it basically, all it is, like I said, is this carpentry work. They built a counter and put some mica on it. Again, plywood, particle board, whatever they used. It wouldn't be that difficult. It's outside. Now I'm across the street this time to show basically how it, you could see the story. The upstairs was for rent. I think they might have had a dance studio up there before. They might have had different things. But we were thinking of taking it, because the stairway would be on the side there. They go to the second floor, and then on the left was to go into our store. We were thinking we could either have another video store up there, or I'm thinking of having an arcade. So we were bringing all the kids and all that, so we didn't do it. Plus we couldn't afford any more rent, so that's what it was. I think it was like $5,000 a month there, because of the size of that store and that location. But we were making a lot of money at that time. Rentals were $3, and you figure it out. We were doing 500 rentals on the weekend. And right there, you got $1,500. I mean, in 1 week, you can make the rent. Just about. It was that busy. We're taking in about, I guess, $8,000 a month, something like that. That's from, all the rentals we were doing. It was mostly cash too. Well, that's the way it was. Now there's that Santa tree farm. This is getting close to Christmas, so there's still, they still have trees, but you can see that the trees are down. Now they were selling them cheap. If I went over there and said, "Here's $10," I could probably take any tree I wanted, but that's the way it was, Back inside. This was daytime. I don't know how I did this. It might have been, I think this was way before we opened. Because we opened at 11. And it wasn't busy because that's like right before Christmas, so I probably went in there about 8 or 9, to do this, So mostly at night after closing, I did all this. So I'm walking through the store. This is the customer's view of the store. Now you see there's tapes everywhere, and back of the counter. See that counter? See, those tapes were back in the other section. I shifted them around and put them in front. They were the newer ones, because every time movies came in, they were in numerical order. So I have all empty boxes there, and then when the movies come in, I would add them. So of course we're running mostly new releases, so I think that was convenient doing it that way. But the tapes on the shelf were alphabetical. I mean, the way it was, I mean, you couldn't really be hard to alphabetize it on the shelf, the movie, because the new ones would be here, or they'd be all over the place. But that system worked. Back outside now, huh? Okay, this shows a lot, but it's a lot of repetition, you know? Meaning, well, since I just kept recording, I don't know why, how I did it. It was on the same tape. Actually, remember I said I had all this footage? I actually have VHS-C. Those small cassettes, I have footage of that, I think. And here's Santa Claus. The guy even dressed like Santa Claus when I came in and gave him a close-up, you know? They knew I'm filming with that little camera. And they were nice, nice guys. And that was kind of cute. I mean, they knew me, I knew them. Well, everybody knew me because I worked in that video store so long. And being there all the hours I was. And I followed this guy up the street, huh? Yeah, I'll show you how that little camera was pretty good. I figured it's almost 20 years old, that camera. Probably was. It wasn't bad, you know, but now today, with all the cameras they have, cameras on these phones is very good. They have all kinds of lighting settings and everything. It's like a real high-tech camera, you know, that you could have, but with the computer and everything else, it's something, the way the technology is. You know, I just kept fading out. So it made a nice transition, you know, for this particular footage I have. You know? Yeah, exactly. In the wind, there's so much stuff. When I did all this, I think I might have been talking over it. But what happened was when I played it back, I added the music. Now I have the music and me talking over it. So see how much can be done. Here's Casper's first Christmas. It wasn't our first Christmas though, at the video store. You see, I use the decorations. I switch them around a lot, yeah. Back to the train. Yeah. I guess I could say you could train your eyes on this, huh? Yeah, I liked it, and when people liked it, it was something I thought was neat, you know. I was something for decorations, you know. I really liked to decorate. It was letting me to be creative, you know. That's why I liked working at the video store so much. Not only meeting people all the time, it was an outlet for my creativity. So I was able to do all these things and come up with these things. There was no formula or nothing like that. We used some of the same things, like that tree we had for a long time. It's an artificial tree. But this train, like I think I said before, I liked it, but it'd be nice if it was electric, but that wouldn't be too practical there because it would have been too much. And I was thinking of setting it up, with a platform there in front of the window, and get electric trains and run it around in front. But just for the little bit of cost that it was, and the time, it was worth it. At the time, because I was kind of busy there. I'm ordering movies, I'm entering movies in the computer, I'm cleaning the store, I'm decorating, I'm doing all the things, the posters all the time to change, so it was keeping me busy, But this really shows a lot, of this store. I made it, I tried to, look, this is the guy here, he worked in the pizza store. He was pretty nice, because I was friendly with them, because they used to give me food, and I'd give them some rentals. It was like we had a trade-off. Everybody saw I was doing this footage, I figure why I'm videotaping, but you can see here, now this is across the street. There's a restaurant there, a bar there, a pub as you might call it. As I look at this, again, you can see there what I did was, I had this stuffed animals from the crane machine. And Rudolph, I got him in the front. They were all in there. Just kept going for them, but I went for Rudolph mostly first, because I knew there weren't many of them in there, so I got that and I put that together. Like I said, it's one of those, they called that a fiber optic tree. because in the bottom you'd have a light and it would light up the tree. But I think that's out. The motor still worked. I decorated it. Pretty much as I can show here. I'm not going to go too much over and over, but it's nice to see it, because I can talk over it, because to do a documentary. I have the product. I just need someone to come in that wants to be partners with it. I mean, you could make up maybe a sample of all this and maybe submit it online to different companies that might be interested. I think a PBS channel might be, because if they had something like this, they know that the exclusive, they would have it and you wouldn't be able to get it nowhere else, and they would be able to get donations for it. Because they did something a while ago, it was called Things That Aren't There Anymore, and they were exclusive for them, particularly if they had them. And then they did part 2 of it, more things that weren't there anymore. Now this is one of the things that aren't there anymore. The video store, there's very few. There may be one here and there. That's gone with all this technology we have. Movies, as far as movies go, you can get any kind of movies you want. How you doing out there, folks? Remember, here at USA Video, we always put you first. Happy holidays, and I'll see you at the movies. I pretty much know what I always say that, In this case, I had the music on. I'm just showing what can be done with the footage. I'll sit there, someone can talk over it like I'm doing. It's just I need somebody that has an idea that want to do it, make something out of it. And I think it can be done. Maybe a company that wants to do it, maybe Netflix, who knows, Amazon, or anybody that's into everything now, nowadays. They could put it, even YouTube has got their movies now. Maybe they might want to do a production of it, it'll be exclusively to them. Maybe, there's a lot of those networks, Lifetime, they show a lot of movies, and things about Christmas. So it's something that could be done, since it's part of history too. Because this technology has evolved so much that you can see 20 years seems to be like 50 years, because so much stuff has happened. And I actually have the way it was, I didn't know at the time. We had computers then, yeah. Without it would have been difficult with all the movies we were renting and all, keep track of everything, the money and the rentals and all. It would be kind of tough without it. You can see that, it was a nice store, but it wasn't a big chain. There's only a few stores, They were privately owned stores, mom and papas, you might call it. I'm showing a lot here, so I can talk over it. That's why I decided to do this. I have music already, but if I had played it with just the music, and put it and post it on YouTube, I don't think it would have the effect as much as me talking over it, And it shows a lot here. And you can see how the shelving was, like I said, how they did it. And we have it by category, and it's alphabetized. Every section was alphabetized. Then we had John Wayne, because we had a lot of movies by him. So I started doing it by actor, Mostly all their old movies. War Western categories we had, we put it in the computer by that, by War Western. But I don't think we couldn't look up War Western and get all the movies. But in the computer, if we looked up a title, we'll try to say War Western, whatever it was. The computers weren't that. There's Disney. Disney's still around. Maybe Disney might want to do a documentary on the video store. It's possible. You could look it up. There's plenty of it about the video store business. Not exactly like this. Because I'm taking you around like as if it's now, walking around there. This footage is much clearer than this. Because the way I'm doing it, But it's good, it comes out good. Good enough, and especially, I know the sound comes out alright. See, Jackie Chan we had, martial arts. It was like, for me, I was doing all that, I was coming up with all that. For all the years I worked, It wasn't so bad because if I wanted to move a section, just get all the boxes off and then put in another section if I thought it would fit better, We had a lot of comedy, a lot of drama, action, and then there's drama. Space it out, because some tapes might be rented. That's what we had to do in those sections because, they didn't change that much. The newer releases did, but there was spaces, well, I just would spread it out. I might shift it a little bit because they weren't renting that much. And I was doing this. I really tried to go through the store as much as I could. I just wanted to see how it was at the time. I might, like I'm looking at it now, but I looked at this footage I really didn't play in the store. At the time, you can see the size of that. How many movies. And a lot of customers would claim we don't have enough copies. That's why they didn't come there. Because they really couldn't tell how many copies. Because if the box is off the shelf, if the box is on the shelf, that means we had it. So when the movies were in, we might have 6 copies of this, 10 copies. But they said because the other stores would have 40, 50 copies. But they were on that prepay. They had to have a lot of copies. The copies are going to be out longer. We're overnight rental. You had a better chance of getting a movie here than you would in those other stores. Then we had all the Chucky movies there, horror. They were popular then. There's a lot of things here that you can, that this is the time period. This action adventure. I couldn't have been filming this now. We know that. I already showed you the date on the screen, but just the posters and the movies tell you when it was. It's like a time capsule in a sense. Like if this footage was put in a time capsule and looked at it 100 years from now, boy, I guess it would be something. It is now too, A lot of people don't know what it was like to rent a movie, And this will let them kind of get the idea, They're looking at movies now from back in the day, but they're not looking at this footage. The only way you're going to look at this footage is what I'm doing says no one under 18 years of age is permitted in this section. So we had an adult section too. I don't know what those other stores, I think they might have. But we boxed this all off and see we had a way you could look in there so I could keep an eye. I wanted to check it and nobody was in there. See how it is? It's alphabetized also. Quite a few, and they were bigger boxes. Film, so I brought that up by looking at this. See, I mentioned that the prices were the same. Everything was the same. New releases, stock films, adult films, everything was one price. So we didn't have a problem there. That eliminated any question about any different prices. I know the other stores had different prices because of that 3-day rental, 5-day rental. First, they have to have a lot of copies. How you doing out there, folks? Remember, here at USA Video, we always put you first. And have a nice holiday, Happy New Year, and I'll see you at the movies. Basically what I said. But me walking around like that and filming this, and with this little camera, I could put it anywhere, And now, who knew then that when I would be looking at this same footage almost 20 years later that I would be talking over it? Nobody at that time. Because, that was kind of it was like my dream job. I'm back here again, folks. I'd like to take this time to wish everybody a happy holiday and thank you for your support. And I guess see you at the movies or see you in the video store. One and the same. But I was saying everything I could here, all about the store. The prices are the same. You have a matinee special. See you later. I think I probably have the actual sound of me saying that, but it's not. So I'm talking over it now, so. Like, another thing, I'm seeing myself when I was younger. And what I did when I was younger. Actually, I was like 260 pounds there. I'm close to 200 now. So that was a big difference for me surviving these years. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know how much time is left on here, on this tape, but I knew I could talk over it pretty much. But again, I'm looking for someone to work with me to do a documentary. Now I have enough footage already on DVD, and I already posted it online. That can be taken and put together. I mean, make a sample and see if anybody's interested. And if they are, we can make a deal. Whoever's deciding to work with me on this project. Remember, I'm giving the product that I have. That you don't have it, nobody has it. But it has to be put together by somebody or a company and all. And maybe can have a nice documentary and you could sell it and make something out. So someone, I'm giving somebody a chance to be 50-50 partners with me. Meaning whatever we make, I could have had it all, but I'm giving somebody a chance to get some money too, as well as me. The only difference is, it's like on a contingent basis. I'll give you all the information you want and everything, and we'll just work together. Basically, I think you could look at enough here. I mean, just this particular footage I've been showing, contingent means if you have to spend any money or time, keep track of it. And if we make a deal, you can take that right off the top, and what's left we'll split. I don't think it's too involved. It's going to be more like the honor system. I'm not going to have too much paperwork, but we could do it by email. Make up an agreement and work it out. But word of mouth right here, 50-50. I'm saying it online, so you could hold me to it. I mean, if I had an agent, he was going to do all that, he might only take up to 20%. I'll get 80, but I'm willing to do it 50-50 because I figure it's better to get 50-50 of something than 50-50 of nothing, So I want to get something out of it. It's not like, more or less, I want to get it out there because I think it's nice to have, That's why I've been putting it online because me to have all this footage, it doesn't mean no good. I like people to enjoy it, look at it, and see like what it was. I must have really been filming a lot that day because now it looks like it's dark, getting dark. Because I know that it wasn't really too busy then because it was real close to Christmas, It's like a day or so before shopping, Some of this is, repeated. But again, for me to talk over now is good because it's long enough for me to talk over, You can see, you can see yourself. It wouldn't be that difficult to get it. The documentaries are like maybe 45 minutes, and with all the commercials and all, maybe an hour. But it wouldn't be that difficult to get enough footage very easily. I mean, I have 6 hours on these tapes. 6 hours of everything you can think of. But snowstorms is a big thing. Because when it snowed, we were very busy. That's why wintertime was more busier than the rest of the year. And it snowed. It was like, that was going to be busy for sure. You might do 3 times as many rentals. And plus the video store was busy. The hardware store, for the salt and shovels and all. And the supermarket. People cleaned it like as if they were never going to go out again, but yeah, it was good business for. Yeah, that's the way it was. People stayed in bad weather. See, we're overnight rental, and some of the problem was if people kept them, they'd be paying a late fee. A lot of people didn't complain, but a lot of people did. Oh, I thought it was 3 days, so they didn't think we didn't prepay. But I used to have a little problem with it. Let me come back with 6 movies for 2 days is $36. Of course, I got the movies back. They were new releases, and I would probably get, most of the time I would get the money, like half, and they could owe, I would tell them, you can't rent until that rest of that money's paid. And when they want to rent, they usually pay. And I might tell them a 2-tape limit. Because here I am taking 6 tapes. That's why we did so much. You can figure it out. Plus, not only the new releases would be gone, But we had DVDs and regular movies besides. So it gave us a little bit more to rent, even though the DVDs were the same price too. Yeah, so we didn't have a different price for DVDs as movies, so. And so that was one of the things when it snowed. It was a big thing. It was really a lot. You figure it out yourself. 100 rentals, that's $300 right there. And it was easy to get 100 rentals. Let me see what else. How you doing out there, folks? Remember, here at USA Video, we always put you first. Have a happy holiday, and I'll see you at the movies. That's pretty much what I said. I don't know how this is going to come out. I know the sound will come out alright. I got that music in the background. I don't know. Now I went into the store. I don't know. I think it's been closed because I don't see any customers. Because I put the open sign, even though it's not really open. One thing we didn't have there was an ATM machine, because right there was near the bank and all, and there was a Sunoco up the street. They had ATM, so I guess that was the reason. So I left the store like that. I think it was probably either after closing or something, because we're open every day. So when I was doing this, it must be right after I closed or something. Because I don't like doing that when I have customers in the store, because they want to get waited on and I'm out there. So get back inside. It's a little different view now. It must have been, show how that looks at a distance. It was pretty nice too. People used to want to come in with their cameras like I have and say, can I film the decorations? I didn't care. They would do it, so it's just to try out a camera or something they might have got for Christmas. Because the cameras were popular, those cameras at that time. But now, with the cameras on the phones and all, they got 3 cameras on the phone now. We got doorbell cameras now, surveillance, the city has it. What amazes me now is it seems like almost whatever goes on, they got a video of it now. Not so much before, when I was doing all this. The banks had, video cameras. That was a well-known thing. People rob a bank, they know they're getting videotaped, I'm sure of that, but I guess they didn't care. Because as long as they don't get caught, it doesn't matter. But nowadays, all this stuff is caught on tape. It seems almost to say everything that happens. Maybe if it wasn't caught on tape, it didn't happen. I don't know. But so much stuff. Car chases, everything you could think of. And now on the doorbell camera, they're starting to get popular. Now they're catching a lot of things. And now we got this, this pirates stealing the packages and all. Porch pirates. And people have cameras and all, and they're still doing it. They've been getting caught, though, lately. Yeah, 'cause that's one of the things I think is kind of petty, that they do it. They should punish them pretty good for that, but you know what it is. You order things and all, and then you don't get it, and you find out that it got stolen. They've been doing a lot of things. I think the police and all, and they've been putting like trackers inside the packages, so someone takes it, they could track them. There's a lot of stuff they're doing now. And here we go with this trains. Trains is associated with Christmas. I mean, I know that when I was a kid. I had train sets, but they're good ones. The real big train sets, Lionel and all that. And they were nice. Made really good with transformers. You could speed them up and all, and lights in the houses and a whole different accessories. Switching tracks and everything. It set up a platform, like about a 4x8 sheet, and cover it with grass or with this felt, like that white felt, and put the track and set it up. It was nice to have it. That's all gone now, so this is all I have now. Look at this. It's not bad. I liked everything I had here. But again, now I look at it and I can't talk over it, so yourself. All the footage that I have so far, you can check it out. All you gotta do is Actually just put my name in, Frank Leeper, and you can search it on YouTube, and it's going to come up. Everything that I've been posting is all going to come up. But a lot of it's on the video store and different things, you know, that I was doing through the years. So I wanted to put it out there, especially this because of Christmas, you know, right now. Okay, let me put this out. Again, maybe someone will contact me. Again, if you're interested, you know, I'm going to have my contact information in the description. I'm giving a description now, but I'll still put something in there. I usually put a long description. I might not this time because I'm talking over it. I thought it might be better that way because to read a lot of stuff, people don't want to do that. So maybe doing it this way might create more interest. You know, you're hearing the person talking who has the footage. Nobody can say that this is not I own this footage because I have proof of it. So in effect, you know, when I put it here, you know, it's being published. You know, when you see it now from this point, it could be on here for years and years, of course. So if someone wants to do a documentary, and you know, somebody could contact me about it. If you have any suggestions, ideas, concerns, questions, just contact me. I mean, you can contact me through Twitter, YouTube, or I'm going to leave my email in the description. So, I don't know how much more of this. Already I went through an hour. Let's see if we're going to do this. See, the thing is, someone have to go through this footage. Decide what you want to put together. I just picked this because it was of the big store and because it was Christmas stuff. So it was able to show inside and outside. And so you can get an idea. Now I put snowstorms, you know, me shoveling snow and all. Because it has something to do with the video store business. That has something to do with it. The fact that people weren't carrying cell phones. Yeah, I noticed on one of the footage I was looking at, you know, you can find things, you know. We have video games, more so in the small store. And I noticed one of them was called a Mega Touch. We had the floor model. I'm saying it's a touch screen. Now, we have touch screen now with everything, the technology, but that shows you even back then. It's like the precursor of the touch screen that we have now on the computers, which is a big thing. I liked it then because there was no buttons or nothing, and you know, no flippers or nothing you had to do, and it was touchscreen. I didn't really have a problem with it then, but I never thought that it was so great like now when you realize what that was like, because the computer we have wasn't touchscreen then. But that's how that evolved from there, you know. That's one of the things I had noticed that I hadn't noticed before about that. This is pretty much, you know, I think I covered a lot here. But what I'm really trying to show here is that you could take the footage, somebody, you could make a script, and it could be read over. See, in my case, I know what I'm looking at, you know, because I lived it and I recorded this. So it's pretty much, I think I want to come to the end here now. This is probably a good place to end it. Again, you know, I appreciate you looking at this. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, I'm looking for anybody, any company, anybody that might view this, might want to do a documentary about the video store. I mean, I have a lot of Christmas footage, but I have a lot of other footage to show the way it was set up then. A lot of people don't know what it was like to rent a movie. Back when this was done, right here, we weren't even born yet. That might be looking at this. So, again, I want to hope you liked it. And what I'm going to do now, I think I'm going to stop it here, and then I'll probably be posting it, and you can look at it. You know, at least it's Christmas time anyway. You know, I think this is a good spot to end it. So, wish everybody a happy holidays, and maybe someone will contact me.